Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Wright, and in today's microlearning session, we're going to cover the 6 helping phases of social work practice: engaging, assessment, planning, implementation, evaluation, and termination. And these phases form the core of how we interact with and support our clients. To make this easier to follow, I'll take you through each phase with a client scenario that will help connect these steps to real-world practice. The first phase is engaging. This is where we build rapport and trust with our clients. Think of it as the foundation of your relationship. You're not just diving into their problems, you're creating a safe space for them to open up. For example, if a client comes in for the first time feeling nervous and unsure, our job is to listen without judgment, use open body language, and help them feel comfortable. Something as simple as "I'm here to support you and there's no rush" can make a world of difference. Think about this. Engagement is about making clients feel heard and safe. Once you've engaged your client, we move into the assessment phase. This is where we gather information to understand the client situation. You'll explore their strengths and challenges and needs, and it's important to approach this holistically. For example, let's say a client is struggling with housing instability. You wouldn't just focus on their immediate needs for shelter. You'd also look at their support system, mental health, and employment status. Use active listening and ask open-ended questions like, "What challenges are you facing right now?" Assessment is about getting the full picture of your client's life. Next is the planning phase, where you and the client collaborate on setting goals and creating a plan of action. This isn't something you do alone, it's partnership. For instance, if the client's primary goal is to secure stable housing, you might work together to create steps like applying for housing programs or connecting with community resources. Make sure to break the plan down into manageable, concrete steps, and always keep the client's input central. A phrase that I like to use is, "What do you think is the first step you feel ready to take?" Planning is a collaborative process of setting goals with the client. In implementation phase, we then plan what we are going to then develop with the client and then put this into action. And as social workers, our role here is to provide support, guidance, and resources to help the client follow through. For example, you might help them apply for renter assistant programs or connect them to mental health services. It's important to be present and check in regularly to see if they're facing any new challenges. During this phase, you might say something like, "How's everything going with the housing application? Do you need any additional support?" Implementation is about putting the plan into action and supporting the client along the way. The evaluation phase is where we assess how effective the plan has been, and are there any interventions that are working? Has the client achieved the goals they set? In practice, you might sit down with your client and ask, "What's been working for you? And what do you need to adjust?" For example, if the client has secured temporary housing but is still struggling with employment, you might revise their plan to focus more on a job placement. Be open to feedback and remember that plans often evolve over time. Evaluation is about reflecting on progress and adjusting the plan as needed. Finally, we come to termination, the conclusion of the client's work with you. Termination does not mean abandoning the client. It means you've helped them reach a level of independence. During this phase, it is crucial to review all the progress made and ensure that the client has the tools and resources they need to continue on their own. For example, you might say, "I'm really proud of the work you've done to secure housing and employment. Do you feel confident moving forward from here?" It's also a time to prepare the client for possible future challenges. Termination is about celebrating progress and preparing the client for their next steps. So there you have it, the 6 helping phases from engaging to termination. Remember, each phase is important in its own way, and these steps help us to provide holistic and meaningful support to our clients. I encourage you to think about how you'll apply these phases in your future practice. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.